Hello again! It's that time of the week when it's time to go wild. The Time to Go Wild radio show podcast back for another week. And a little bit of a roundup of what's been going on around the hockey in the UK, particularly with the YKK Widnes Wild and Division 1 North Morley, but also touching on some of the other leagues. If you want to contact us throughout the week, you can do Facebook or Twitter.com/TTGW Radio, email ttgwradio@outlook.com, or text 07849767755. Of course, this is available on YouTube and Podbean, as well as picked up on Amazon Podcasts. Well, let's get ready for another week. It's time to go wild. Hello and welcome to another Time to Go Wild radio podcast. After a busy weekend of ice hockey across most of the UK. The fixtures have been thick and fast. The games have been very lively. So we've got a fair few things to cover this week. And of course, we'll hopefully bring you a little bit of a roundup of a couple of news items, who's on the naughty step, and our post-match interview. So as per usual, I think we should just get straight into it with the scores. Starting off with the Elite League Challenge Cup from Friday 27th of September. Cardiff Devils 5, Manchester Storm 6, after overtime. On Saturday, Guildford Flames 6, Coventry Blaze 0, Nottingham Panthers 3, Sheffield Steelers 4, Fife Flyers 4, Dundee Stars 1. On Sunday, Dundee Stars 4, Glasgow Clan 5, and Coventry Blaze 2, Nottingham Panthers 3, after overtime. League action from Saturday, Manchester Storm 3, Cardiff Devils 7, Glasgow Clan 1, Cardiff Devils... Oh, I've got a fixture wrong. We'll come back to that one. Where are we? Game Centre. I better correct that one. We'll come back to that one. It's not Cardiff Devils, I know that much. We'll go to the National League. 28th of September, Saturday, National League, NIHL. Berkshire Bees 3, MK Lightning 6. Bristol Pit Bulls 3, Romford Raiders 8. Sheffield Steel Dogs 5, Peterborough Phantoms 3. Solway Sharks 9, Telford Tigers 3. Swindon Wildcats 6, Leeds Knights 3. Lots of threes there. On Sunday, Milton Keynes Lightning 7, Solway Sharks 3. Leeds Knights 7, Bristol Pit Bulls 2. Peterborough Phantoms 4, Swindon Wildcats 3. Romford Raiders 5, Hull Seahawks 4 after overtime. And Telford Tigers 3, Berkshire Bees 6. NIHL Division 1 North Morley action from Saturday. Sheffield Scimitars 1, Nottingham Lions 4. On Sunday, Billingham Stars 8, Sheffield Scimitars 2. Blackburn Hawks 5, Solihull Barons 3. Whitley Warriors 2, Hull Jets 3 after overtime. Widnes Wild 2, Leeds Knights North 1, 7. To North 2 Laidler League. Saturday 28th of September, Coventry NIHL Blaze 0, Sutton Sting 1. Kingston Sharks v Deeside Ducks, news to follow. Sunday 29th of September, Altrincham Aces 9, Nottingham Lions North 2, 3. Bradford Bulldogs 3, Telford Tigers North 2, 10. Deeside Ducks 4, Sheffield Titans 3. Sutton Sting 6, Billingham Buccaneers 2. WNIHL Division 2 North action from Sunday. Whitley Bay Beacons W2 2, Leeds Roses 6. Kingston Diamonds W2 4, Widnes Wild Women 4. And we'll get some clarification on a couple of the results in a sec. Well, I made a bit of a hash of that one this week. Oops. We'll just find out about that league game first with the... Where are we? Yeah, from Saturday the 28th. Just quickly go to there. Yeah, here we are. Yeah, Saturday 28th. Actually, I got them all mixed up. It was Manchester Storm 3, Belfast Giants 7. So I made a mess of that one. So yeah, Saturday 28th, Manchester Storm 3, Belfast Giants 7, and then it was Glasgow Clan 1, Cardiff Devils 3. So that clears that one up. The other result that I've been trying to find was from Saturday when it was the Kingston Sharks against the Deeside Ducks, and a little bit of sifting online, it appears there was some issues of some description. It seemed there might have been some ice technical issues, but the game was basically abandoned and forfeited, it seems. A confirmation to follow at some point in the week, undoubtedly through England Ice Hockey. The score stood as Kingston Sharks 5, Deeside Ducks 0. So that's the way that one finished, apparently, on Saturday. So some big results at the weekend, some big scores in some of the games. Guildford 6, Coventry 0. Big one there. Some overtimes as well and shootouts. Cardiff 5, Manchester Storm 6 on Friday. A big one, a bit of a shocker in a way, because they've been on a run. The Hull Seahawks were away in Romford on Sunday, going down by 5-4 in overtime. In North 1, Whitley Warriors and Hull Jets are currently fighting out at the top of the table. The spoils go into Hull by 3-2 in overtime. And if you want to come down to Division 2, we've got a tight one. Coventry and NHL Blaze 0, Sutton Sting 1. Very tight game there. But a big one between Bradford and Telford. Bulldogs 3, Tigers 10. Big score. But the Deeside Ducks got a win as well, beating the Sheffield Titans by 4-3. And in the Women's League Division 2 North, the Whitley Bay Beacons going down by 6-2 at home to the Leeds Roses, and our Widnes Wild Women travelling over to Hull and having a 4-4 game. And in that league, you can have a draw. And from what I've seen of the action, the Widnes girls went down and had to claw it back, but pulled it back for a draw. And a very good and pleasing start for the season for them. And hopefully it's the start of things to come for the Widnes Wild women. As for our YKK Widnes Wild, it's a tough start for the season. Continues with a tricky fixture against the Leeds Knights North 1 team. Very tight in the beginning of the game, but very short-benched Wild against a pretty full-benched Leeds team, plenty of experience. Seeing the return of Matt Barlow and Alex Mitchell, both of whom now playing for Leeds, and the experience and strength and physical strength of some of the Leeds team against the more youthful and short-benched Widnes team. It went 7-2 in favour of Leeds. Bit of a shame. To be honest, I wasn't... Yeah, you can say disappointed by the result. You'd have liked it to have been a bit closer. But all in all, the actual hockey, I actually enjoyed watching the hockey as a hockey game. It was not a not enjoyable game. It was an enjoyable game to watch. Some good plays, some physicality, some very good goals. I mean, Edgar Sven put one in, and it was like a rocket. Absolute wonderful goal. And, it's the rough with the smooth. And after the game, I managed to catch up with Kai Hathaway and had a nice little chat. And this is what we discussed. Well, first time we've seen the new Leeds Knights North 1 team. I've been joined by Kai Hathaway. Short bench night for the Wild. But, okay, it's 7-2 on the night, but from personal perspective, the guys did not give up all game.
No. I think from what we had, we done our best for what we had, and short bench, it's a hard game, but we worked hard. We didn't get the result we wanted, and it's a tough night.
It's going to be, I mean, short benched, and when we see the roster for Leeds, we know a number of the players returning on the opposite side was Alex Mitchell and Matt Barlow. We know their strengths. Several of their Leeds players, number of us know their strengths from other divisions. Michael Danico played Sheffield for many years. Strong players and a lot of young players as well. And they had the bigger bench.
Yeah, and that's the difference. The bench numbers makes a big difference. A few players on their team can't make all that difference. Where we didn't stand down from them. Even though they had a few really good players, we still made what we had.
I mean, there was good plays, stretch passes again, managing to break through at the right times. Plays kept calm. Penalty minutes tried to be kept down as well. A lot of physicality, but I'll say, all in all, good physicality from both teams. Definitely. A well-tempered game.
Definitely. Yeah, I think on the physicality side, both teams, we were both really, really physical, and I think that made a great game as well. So even though we didn't come on top, it was still a great game otherwise.
I mean, Ross Chalmers took a really hard hit off Alex Mitchell, but managed to bounce back. I think he was actually eating the jelly sweets and it came out sugared up.
Yeah, exactly. But it's a tough hit from him, and he recovered fine. So yeah.
And you've been your first full season now with the Wild. You've got your definitely got your skating legs going. How are you feeling anyway with the feel of the team and the performances so far?
So I'm enjoying it. I've played 4 games up to now, 2 points, so not too bad for my first season. And yeah, I'm enjoying it. It's a good bunch of lads, and it's going to be a good season ahead.
I mean, for yourself, just let our listeners know a little bit of the background of your hockey background prior to playing for the full YKK Widnes Wild.
I started at Widnes when I was 7. I went to Manchester after a few years of being in Widnes, and I had a few years off injured, a total of around 3 to 4 years off injured. And this is my first season back in about 3 years, since 2021 or 2, around that time.
I mean, you've been no stranger to the rink. You've always been a pleasant face, always saying hello when it be rec games, junior games, and what have you when you've been around the place. And it's good seeing you out there showing what you can be capable of. And as you're saying, you're one of the academy kids of the past. Made another breakthrough.
Well, thank you very much. It's great to be here.
I mean, it's good seeing young players who were once part of the academy. People like yourself, Luke. We've got Jared. We've got Ben McClellan, who joined the academy a few years ago and then went to Altrincham and Blackburn. And it is good that now we're starting to see players like yourselves in the full squad.
And it shows that the academy is doing a good job on its own side as well, being able to bring players up from the academy upwards. So it shows the academy is doing their part as well.
I mean, it's as yourself, you went to Manchester as well as part of your development, but it shows that junior hockey is doing its job and giving players opportunities, breaks to play at higher levels, and it's just about taking those chances.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. I think everything they're doing is correct, and it's going to be, because a lot more kids from the likes of the UK now are going to the Elite League. Like the amount of numbers of 17, 18 year olds in the Elite League now compared to the past is ridiculous. It's the big difference.
And it's what young players need to aspire for. They've got to, it is good when you see the two-way deals or the players getting into the squads and then starting to break through, because without seeing the younger players getting into the top flight,
gives the younger lads a lot more hope as well, seeing if it's possible they can do it themselves.
Exactly, that's exactly it. And even just a young player like yourself getting into Division 1, it gives the young players plenty to aspire to.
Yeah, definitely. And if they're watching into the game, you'll see the level that some of the younger lads are at, and they're competing in this league very well at a young age.
And yourself and all the guys tonight, as we said, it was short bench. It's only 2 lines and a spare, but no one gave up. Even when the score was going the wrong way, they kept going, kept fighting to push forward and score.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. And like we said, we work with our numbers, and hopefully soon we'll have 3 to 4 lines full, and then hopefully we can play our good game.
Well, I mean, next weekend it's on the road. Yeah. Play Leeds back in Leeds.
Yeah, that should be. Let's see how we get on then. Hopefully we've got an extra line as well, as it being heard, and hopefully we can match with them a bit better.
Well, you can probably hear the celebrations from somewhere going on, but I think the lads can hold their heads high after that performance tonight.
Definitely, yeah, and it's a lot to learn from it, that's all I can take from it.
Well, Kai, thanks for joining me. Catch up with you again later in the season.
Thank you very much, thank you.
Thanks again, Kai, for the chat. And, well, it goes to show juniors can make it through into the senior team. We've had a few, and Kai is one of the surprises, because, as he said, he was one of the earlier members of our own Wild Academy. So he's made a break into the team. Luke Alston's made a break into the team. We've had Jake Meehan. We've had Jared Knowles, of course, this year. We've of course, we welcome Ben McClellan, having departed from the Blackburn Hawks. Ben was part of our academy in the under-18s particularly, and then when he aged out from 18s, he went to Altrincham Aces and also played for the Blackburn Hawks and was part of the Blackburn Hawks team that won the playoffs. And he's come on leaps and bounds and was a very, very helpful, useful, and he played an important part on Sunday night. Now, as a member of our YKK Widnes Wild, it's just good seeing players who have been part of our academy back here. But on the whole, it's good seeing academy players progressing through the ranks, and hopefully our space is higher up and higher up within the leagues for those who really want to push and go for it. And this is hockey. You can't be given a slot. You have to fight for it. And there are players out there, and they will fight for every little bit that they can get. So, quick look at the tables. For the Elite League, we're going to leave the league table alone because there's only a few games played, but we'll go with the Challenge Cup. And Group A, which is a group of 6, we still have Coventry Blaze in 6th position on 2 points after 4 games. Manchester Storm in 5th, 5 games and 4 points. The Guildford Flames in 4th, 7 games and 5 points. The Cardiff Devils in 3rd position, 3 games and 5 points. The Sheffield Steelers in 2nd on 3 games and 6 points. And currently top of that group is the Nottingham Panthers with 6 games and 10 points. There's a bit of a game disparity. Some have played 4, 3, 5, and others have played 7 and 6. So things are still to even out a little bit. In Group B, Glasgow Clan are currently in 4th position of their group of 4, 4 games and 4 points. The Dundee Stars in 3rd, 7 games and 5 points. 5 Flyers in 2nd, 5 games, 5 points. And the Belfast Giants top that table, 4 games and 8 points. Just flipping quickly over to the league, the reason I'm not covering it is basically because the Nottingham Panthers don't appear to have played any league games. The maximum number of games played at the moment is 3, so it's either 3, a 2 or a 1. So it's not... It's still very early days. Very, very early days. Moving to the National League, and we've got, at the moment, Telford Tigers at the bottom of the table. 5 games, no points. So very strange seeing Telford down there after the last few years. Bristol Pitbulls in 10th, 6 games and 2 points. The Berkshire Bees in 9th position, 6 games and 3 points. Solway Sharks, 6 games and 5 points in 8th position. Out on the same points with 5, it's the Sheffield Steel Dogs in 7th after 4 games. 6th position, after 6 games, it's the Peterborough Phantoms on 6 points. Now we have 5th and 4th both on 8 points. 5th on the table is the Romford Raiders after 5 games, as well as the Milton Keynes Lightning on 5 games, but ranked in 4th position. 3rd and 2nd are on equal points, but Swindon Wildcats in 3rd, 6 games and 9 points. The Hull Seahawks are currently 2nd, 5 games and 9 points. We're only 1 point ahead, but with a game extra, it's the Leeds Knights, 6 games and 10 points at the top of the National League. We will jump to Laidler, Division 2 North now. And at the moment, the Bradford Bulldogs yet to get off the mark after 3 games. Currently 10th position, 3 games, no points. Sheffield Titans, 5 games, 1 point in 9th. Nottingham Lions Div 2 are in 8th position after 5 games with 3 points. The Deeside Ducks in 7th after 3 games, also on 3 points. Kingston Sharks in 6th, 3 games and 5 points. Both equal on 6 points now. We have the Altrincham Aces in 5th after 5 games, and the Billingham Buccaneers in 4th after 4 games, both of them on 6 points. The Coventry NAHL Blaze are in 3rd after 4 games with 9 points. The Telford Tigers North 2 are in 2nd, 4 games, 12 points, and riding high at the top of the table. The Sutton Sting, 6 games and 18 points. But the max points, basically, it's between Telford and Sutton for Division 2 at the moment. They're the two riding high. As we move now up a step after jumping down 2 to the Morley table for Division 1 North. Sheffield Scimitars, after 6 games, are in 10th position, yet to get off the mark, as are the Widnes Wild in 9th after 4 games. Still no points for either of them. Leeds Knights, after the game last night against Widnes, 5 games, 3 points, their first win. Then we have the Deeside Dragons in 7th position, 4 games and 6 points, and above them the Solihull Barons in 6th position, 4 games and 6 points as well, so tied with Deeside. Next, 5th and 4th, both on 9 points after 5 games each. Blackburn ranked in 5th, Nottingham Lions ranked in 4th, both on 9 points, as I say, after 5 games. Whitley Warriors at the moment in 3rd position now after 4 games. It's 10 points to them. Billingham Stars have jumped up to 2nd after 5 games with 12 points, but still at the top of the table. It's the Hull Jets, 6 games and 17 points. And when you look at the maximum points at the moment, it's, well, Whitley could get 106, Billingham 105, and Hull 107. So, the top 3, very tight. Mid-table's very tight. And the bottom portion of the table, very close. So it's almost starting to separate into 3 segments in that table, but this being hockey, anything can happen. Absolutely anything can happen. And if you want to say about a shock, and I can say every team has its day. The one shock in many ways a lot of us wouldn't have predicted is Nottingham being up in 4th, considering for many years in the recent times, Nottingham have been down in the bottom 2 or 3 of the table. So, sometimes patience pays off. You have to wait a couple of years, or Nottingham have had to be very, very patient, and then you can start to claw your way up the table. Widnes rode high for a few years. This year, we're low down, but again, it happened to Whitley a few years ago. It's happened to Billingham. It's happened to Hull. They've all ridden high in their respective leagues, and at some point, they've had to drop to the lower part of the table. Blackburn as well. They were riding high at the top of Division 1 North for a number of years, and player changes and other changes within the club. Next thing, they end up mid-table. Then they start to climb their way back up. They've rebuilt the team. Widnes, Sheffield, they're having that time to sort themselves out again. It happens. And it's like a cycle. It goes around and goes around. So you never know what's going to happen. However, one thing that does happen, of course, is we have this.
Whoop, whoop. That's the sound of the police. Whoop, whoop. That's the sound of the beast.
Yeah, we get the odd naughty one. And there's been quite a few over the last week. So we go back now to what's been happening since last Saturday. So this includes last Sunday and up until, I think it's probably end of Saturday. So it doesn't account for Sunday. So people on the naughty step at the moment, we've got Callum McGill of the Hull Seahawks with a 1-game suspension for, checking from behind. Ollie Endicott from the Leeds Knights got a 1-game suspension for an illegal check to the head. Thomas Malazinski of the Swindon Wildcats got a 3-game suspension for an illegal check to the head. The additional comments read, Malazinski made no attempt to play the puck, which is loose. He checks the Berkshire Bees player who was not in possession of the puck and elevates into the check. Primary point of contact is the shoulder into the head, and this action was both reckless and caused endangerment. Jared Knowles of the Widnes Wild got a 3-game suspension for an illegal check to the head. The comments read, the player was unaware of the hit. Point of contact was head-neck area, recklessly endangering the opponent. Damani James, Widnes Wild, got a mandatory 1-game suspension for fighting, and the fight was in the last 5 minutes of the game. Well, actually, it was after the buzzer during the handshakes, and it was with Alex Parry of the D-Side Dragons, who also got a 1-game mandatory suspension for fighting for the same reason. Harry Rushby of the Nottingham Lions N2 got a 2-game suspension for fighting. The comments read, fighting a downed opponent and fighting occurred in the last 5 minutes of regulation time. And the final one is Joseph Gray of the Kingston Sharks. A 4-game suspension for slashing. Oof. Additional comments read, 2-handed slash to the face of an opponent, which, had the opponent not been wearing a face cage, could have caused serious injury. Action recklessly endangered an opponent. Ouch. Oh dear. So yeah, that's the latest published, he says, with his teeth in the wrong way, people on the naughty step.
Whoop, whoop. That's the sound of the police. Whoop, whoop. That's the sound of the beast.
So, a couple of little items of news, courtesy of EnglandIceHockey.com. And this year, a number of clubs in NIHL South 2 are playing a new Challenge Cup competition named after the legend of the sport, Eddie Joseph. Eddie passed away in December 2022, having been the heart and soul of the Lee Valley Lions for almost 40 years. Wow. Played over 200 games for the original Lions in the 80s and 90s, and was a key figure in the club's revival in 2005. So the clubs that will feature are, of course, Lee Valley Lions, as well as the Chelmsford Warriors, Haringey Huskies, Peterborough Phantoms NIHL 2, and the Invicta Mustangs. So they will be involved in the Eddie Joseph Challenge Cup for NIHL South 2. There's also the Back to Quest for Quebec 2025. And this is again courtesy of EnglandIceHockey.com, on the back of a successful 2024 trip to Le Torino. The England national team program are delighted to announce that they will send a boys and girls under 13 to the 2025 event. So that's fantastic news. Rachel Gay, the ENTP general manager, and Ben Pitchley, general manager of the Elite Player Pathway, have worked closely with the tournament organisers in Quebec to secure places for both our under 13 teams, so yeah, both boys and girls, for the event in February 2025. The largest tournament for under 13 players in the world. That is fantastic. So yeah, it's a big shout out to everyone involved. Other people who've also been key in making sure it all goes ahead is the likes of Rob Lamy, Alan Haig, and Tom Annett. And everybody involved. Rob Lamy, as well as Josie Lamy. Everybody who's been involved, fantastic. It's great to see this kind of thing happening, particularly for the young kids. It's great that they're getting such an experience, and we wish everybody well with the program. So yes, lots of good stuff as well. We've had some naughty stuff, but we also have some good stuff as well. So, the usual little sort of closing roundups. Of course, if you want anything to do with your YKK Widnes Wild, check it out, widneswild.co.uk, or the social media outlets that include the likes of Facebook and twitter.com/widneswild, as well as our YouTube feed, Widnes Wild Official, and Instagram, which is also YouTube is Widnes Wild Ice Hockey Club. Silly me. Instagram is Widnes Wild Official. I think TikTok is at Widnes Wild Official, not just Widnes Wild Official. And other social media outlets. And of course, if you change for Facebook and Twitter with TTGW Radio, you will reach the radio station. And of course, our website. And don't forget, we have all of our sponsors to thank. Title sponsor YKK, our penalty boxes sponsored by Fresco Environmental. We have our timekeeping bench sponsored by Sigmatex. We also thank Cheshire Taxation. DMH Tyres, Roger Truck Services, MPG Maintenance, Bright Spark Event Lighting, Northwest Mixers, Ready Mix Concrete Providers, and Newton Construction, as well as our player sponsors. Main sponsor for Charlie Henry of Bear Aesthetics, and additional sponsors Alice J. Clark, Sports Romance Writer, as well as La Jolie Ronda. And our Bears Hughes is sponsored by Barlow's EV. Some up-and-coming fixtures as well. So next weekend, on the 5th of October, we're into October. Eek. Our under-16s are in Leeds at around about 5:30, and then at 7:30, your YKK Widnes Wild are in action. The return game, it's the Leeds Knights. Meanwhile, if you're at a Spurn Point, come down to Planet Ice Widnes, where our under-14s will be facing Manchester, and that's around about 6 p.m. On Sunday, the 6th of October, YKK Widnes Wild are away in Whitley Bay. Ooh, that almost rhymes. On the 12th of October, we have our Widnes Wild women away in Sheffield. In the meantime, back at Planet Ice Widnes, we have our under-12s in action against Telford, starting about 4:20, followed by our under-19s. So our under-19s get their first game at home, and they will be facing Nottingham around about 6:10. Meanwhile, on Sunday, 13th of October, under-16s will be away in Solihull. Meanwhile, the Solihull Barons will be making the visit to Planet Ice Widnes, 5:30 p.m. for that fixture on the 13th of September. Sorry, 13th of October. Good grief, I'm getting all my months mixed up. And then one more for you for Saturday, the 19th of October on my list. We have our under-16s in Nottingham. Meanwhile, our under-18s are scheduled on my list to be at home against Sheffield, 6:10 or 6:05 or 6 o'clock-ish. We'll say 6 o'clock-ish. Face-off. Under-18s, they'll be playing Sheffield on the 19th of October. Then on the 20th of October, our under-19s are in Nottingham. Meanwhile, the Blackburn Hawks will be visiting Planet Ice Widnes, 5:30 p.m. face-off for that game on the 20th of October. So that about rounds up some of the fixtures coming up. Well, let's just say at the weekend I was at the Wild Academy under-14s fixture and 16s fixture against Nottingham. Both of them very lively affairs, we'll say. And it's a test this year because both the 14s and 16s have moved from B League to A League. So it's a lot faster, a lot more physical, and it's early time in the league for them now as A-League players, but it's going to be an extra learning curve for them all. But the thing is, for the juniors, at some point, if they wanted to push themselves, they've got to make that step up. And as we've seen, we've got players like Ben McClellan and Luke Alston and also Kai, who was part of our academy, playing for the YKK Widnes Wild. So, as players get pushed harder and push themselves harder, anything can happen, and next thing they can actually make a break into the top squad. So, and even go further. They could potentially see some of our younger players make that break to elite league in the coming in the future, which is what we really want. We want them to, excel at what they do, and that's what sports for young kids is about, really. They want to better themselves. Go ahead. The opportunities are there for the taking. Well, that's my ramblings for another week. I hope you've enjoyed what I've had on offer. All being well, we'll be back with another podcast in the very near future. As usual, my usual sign-off. Enjoy your hockey wherever you're getting it. If you want to get in touch, you know how to get in touch. And we'll hopefully catch you with another Time to Go Wild podcast in the near future. From me, for another week, enjoy your hockey. Take care. Till next time, ta-ra.